What's up guys, it's Sloth here, and today we're doing something we have not done in this format before. We're doing a tier list, but this is not a drunk tier list, this is not a casual tier list, there's an actual serious tier list for DreamHack. And as I'm not a pro player and I kind of just like to look at the numbers behind the stuff, I brought someone with me, and that's Weekend. Hi.
What's up, guys? I am here. If you don't know me, I'm the jungler for Team Allegiance. I've played pro basically since Pro League was a thing. I'm also a decent-sized streamer, YouTuber. Not quite on Duke's level, but I'm getting there.
I would say, at least streamer-wise, you're much further than me. But talking about that, we're going to do this a little, well, unusual, I guess. And we're going to split the tier list. So the first half is where you're watching it right now. And the second half is on Weekend's channel. So you will be linked over there, and you can watch the second part there. We want to try this out. Tell us in the comments if you like it or not, and if we should do that again. And with that, we can actually jump into the tier list, I'd say. First one is probably one of the simpler ones. Agni. Agni, I would say, is kind of there. Win rate is 75% at the moment, but he's only been picked 4 times. Bit of a pocket pick. I would say straight A.
I can agree with you on A, and definitely like a pocket pick / very situational when you can play the god. You can't just pick him whenever you want.
Yeah. Okay, next one is already an interesting one. AMC. Picked once, 0 wins. I don't see any reason to play him, but B tier for the B.
Yeah, I'm going B for the B. People play AMC when they're just feeling frisky. They're trying to do some weird stuff and pull out the B, and then you regret it after that one loss.
At least they tried. Next one, kind of not even played at all, actually. Apwash.
Dude, you were never gonna see this god play. It's sad. It's a cool idea. It just doesn't have a place.
Yeah, I mean, the last one who tried it was Deathwalker once, which was funny, but it didn't work anyway. B or C?
I'd probably go. Honestly, I'd probably put it in B still, because if you could play AMC and take the loss, you could play Apuch.
Yeah, fair.
And probably have the same situation.
Fair.
I mean, maybe some crazy scenario comes out where you need Apuch. I don't know. I haven't seen it, but you never know.
We'll see. I would be surprised if we do. Next one is Amaterasu. That is probably a completely different story already. Amaterasu picked 19 times, 12 wins, so 63% win rate. Looking pretty good.
Yeah, definitely one of your top picks, just because he can be like it's a god that not a she can be played in support and in solo.
Yeah.
So you have we can pick this and decide where it goes later factor, which is huge in like just for screwing with the other team, them not knowing what's going on. Right. Plus, it does well. Like, it's an actually really, really good god in both roles. You might lose the early game in the solo lane, but who cares if you're winning team fights later?
I was gonna say, the late game makes up for it, I guess.
Yep, definitely.
So, S minus? S?
I'm feeling S minus. I'm feeling that.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of fair because while the god is, you can interchange it to whatever. It's not like the top tier, like you have to have this god in your game, or you really are gonna have it every game.
True. Okay, next one is Anhur. Not played a lot, but won every game that he played. 2 games. Anhur's, from what I feel like, he's still a pocket niche strategy though. Very high early aggression, obviously, but late game, they're just others that do more, huh?
No, I'm right there with you. I didn't know that Honor had won both games. I feel like Honor comes out because you're like, this is good in this situation, and then it doesn't play out like you said late game.
Yeah.
Like you need that team fight god who's there late, and Honor doesn't usually have that. But I mean, if you make up for it in the early game, you're good to go.
Yeah. So
you feeling A or A minus?
A or yeah, I was gonna ask you.
I would go with A just because it's winning, right? Like it won its game, so somebody knows when to pull it out in the right situation. So you can't say it needs to fall lower. So I'm down.
So when he's picked, he probably works, but he's not picked when there's no chance he works.
Yeah, I know, right?
Anubis picked 3 times, 0 wins.
Someday Anubis will be there. One day.
Someday. I would probably put still in B though.
I'm feeling B because I know for a fact, like, Anubis has the 3 losses or whatever, but if you play a team comp that protects Anubis through long enough of the game, like just get your items online, Anubis destroys.
I mean, he still has that damage, it's just that's all he has.
It's just super risky. You ever get caught out, you're pretty much done. But somebody, I mean, we saw it played. What was it at Worlds last year when Best brought it out? Like they obviously had to practice it and knew it worked.
Yeah. It didn't work out though,
maybe they didn't know. Not that Worlds. I don't think it did, but it worked for them in scrims. No one's just gonna pull it out, right? Maybe they knew some situations it worked in, just not all of them.
Yeah.
So they're figuring it out.
All right, next one, Ao Kwang. Huh. That one not played at all, and I would be surprised if we see him picked at the moment.
I would be mind blown. I know in scrims it gets played very rarely into like Pepperies and stuff, just for fun to try it out, and even then it doesn't work. So I could easily put Quang into B and be fine with it, just because it can be played, and I've seen it win a scrim or two, but it usually isn't going to be a high priority. It's not going to be a god you want to play in every game. That's for freaking sure.
It's like the thing that I would say he has over some B tier gods is his mobility. That still helps, but you got to get to the point of the game to be relevant.
Crazy late game, right? Yeah, he's got that crazy late game. But with the early meta and snowball so prominent in the competitive games, it's almost pointless to even try to do that.
I mean, I feel like if there was a really a comp build around early aggression just to get him online, he might be justified in A-, but I would still put him in B just because how often
I'm right there with you. Because even if you are, say you're pulling an Isis out for early game or just some crazy early game mid to carry you through, it's still risky. There's other comps that can just counter Isis, and then both gods are screwed.
Yeah. Okay, next one is Aphrodite. Last seen, I think, in jungle quite a while ago.
Oh, wait, who did that? I didn't even know. That's actually scary. Oh my gosh, I can't do that.
I don't know. I don't know about this god. Like, I don't want to underrate her, but
I'm not. I would put her below B, to be just completely honest with you. Anti-heal is so easy to pick up.
True. Especially now that you have Bracer, you want that anti-heal as well.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. People were talking about, like, oh, Bracers are out, but everyone's picking up Brawler's first items. You're getting the early Pestilence. It's just, everyone has anti-heal on purpose because of Bracers. So why force even more anti-heal into the game? Then people are going to be picking up Ankh, and it's over. You're done. You're not doing anything.
I'm down with that. I would say C is fine. I can see her being pulled out in some crazy role for some crazy reason. Like, I don't know if she gets put back into mid or something, but even then I'd be surprised if she does a lot.
Yeah, just once again, that early game snowball is too risky to force on yourself.
Yeah. Apollo. Also not the greatest early game, but surprisingly 100% win rate across 3 games. I don't quite know which games those were.
I know Snoopy played it in NA. And his playstyle is so unique because he uses the ult to get back to lane. He's using it for farm, essentially. Okay. And because Apollo's tanky with your 2, people are building Shifter Shield on Hunters. Yeah. Crazy. You just have a tanky Hunter that's farming. Right? Yeah. Actually, I think it did come up after. But I don't know I don't know. Back when he did it, people were building. I don't know what the Hunter builds are now. They're too crazy for me to do that stuff. But if you think about it, if you're playing this Hunter to farm to late game, like you said, it's a bad early game, right? Yeah. So you're trying to avoid the early game. You want to pick up every farm possible. You're trying to solo buffs if you can. Like, it really works. Okay. I wouldn't say Apollo's a must pick, but when people play it right, it is scary and it's really frustrating.
Yeah. Would you say A+ or A rather?
I'd probably go with A, just because it's another situation where everybody's not going to be doing it. There's going to be situations you want to do it, kind of like Agni, and I couldn't put Apollo above Agni. There's no way.
Yeah, true. Arachne. Big ones, 0 wins. B or C?
I'm going to put Arachne in a C tier. I played against the Arachne in that game. I was the one who got to play against it. I don't know. I mean,
it's Marizio, right?
It's a cool kit and everything, but it doesn't have the mobility. The early game, everything's not guaranteed, especially with the prominent 3v3 like fighting. Yeah, Arachne sucks in team fights. Like you're already, the whole game of Smite right now is team fighting. From like 1 minute in, you're not gonna pick Arachne when you're team fighting.
I mean, she doesn't bring much lane clear. She doesn't bring much jungle clear. It's like, what are you gonna do?
Exactly. There's what are you really trying to do with Arachne? What's
trying to get kills and snowball, but how well is that gonna work?
See, like Arachne's the perfect low ranked game, low casual game, god.
Like right there with Bakasura.
It really is. Like you could put both those gods in, you can farm by yourself and just kill people by yourself. You're good to go.
Okay, the next one is Ares. Showing up a lot more than he used to. Actually, I think these stats are not right, but it should be a 50% win rate at the moment. Interesting development from complete never pick trash tier to a lot more situational pick, I would say.
Yeah, with this dual lane kind of changing into that, they were fighting a lot. Like people, even now, people are getting the what's the slowing active? I always forget what it's called now.
Let's call it by its old name.
that's well, people are bringing that up, right? So like Duel Lanes want to fight, and if you're a good Ares player, you're that's what you're trying to do. You're just trying to poke and fight as much as possible. So like you're really, really good aggressive support players like Aurora. They can just make this god work. It is situational, but it does work. I don't know. That's just how it is.
So we put it in A, I guess.
I agree with you. I'm down.
Oh, Artemis. Not played yet, actually.
Really? I'm actually surprised.
Me too, but
Panda didn't pull it out. Nothing. Wow.
Maybe I just don't have the stats, but it seems like.
No, you're probably right. I wouldn't be surprised.
Artemis got her buff. She's one of the few gods that got buff before DreamHack now with a mana cost and something else. Well, which I'm not sure it was.
Base stat? Was it might have been base health?
Oh yeah, right. The base health or the base mana.
It might have been maybe. I really don't remember. It's base something. That's for sure.
Yeah, I know the more important part is the suppress the insolent having less mana cost, so you can clear a lot better.
Yeah.
But where does that put her? I mean, she's still low mobility, but I feel like she could situationally pull something off.
So to me, this doesn't maybe not necessarily falls into snowball, but if you're being aggressive, if your team is just constantly you're a blink Geb, or you're just constantly going in, that's where Artemis shines, where she gets the run at you. So if you're picking a team comp around that, it works. It's just really hard to guarantee that because the other team can realize your strategy and then just start like all right, we have to initiate first from now on, and it just swaps real fast. I'd probably put her in A- is where I'm thinking.
That's what I would have said. She's like not quite Apollo levels, but she might be able to pull something off. All right.
Absolutely.
Athena. Not seen much, actually. Well, actually, 8 picks, not too bad. 50% win rate. I think she was played in support only, though, was she? Or was it... Did you pull out in jungle?
Maybe, yeah. I don't know if I would say maybe if it's solo, if anything, earlier in the season.
Oh, yeah?
Or split, not the season. I bet you it was all support, though, honestly.
Probably. Where would you put her?
She's really... I don't like her in the... I mean, I enjoy playing against Athena, and I don't like having it on my team just because you have the one taunt, right?
Yeah.
The one, that's your peel or that's your initiation.
Yeah.
After that, what the hell do you do? Like, you just kind of stand there and be annoying. Whereas like the other supports like Geb, you have this ultimate that locks people down and knock up. You have the shield. You have a roll to slow people. You have Khepri who can save people. Where Athena just doesn't have that stuff. I put Athena in A- because I don't think there's a situation you want to play her in necessarily, or like she'll work in some places, but it's more like all the supports are banned, or just something is keeping you from playing that other sport that you just fall back to Athena. That's
I'm completely down with that, because the only benefit that I see over other supports primarily is obviously the ultimate, but in late game team fight, what's that ultimate gonna do?
Yeah, that's the other thing. Right now, global ults are so weak because you're in this 3v3 or 4v4 like you're literally running around as a group the whole freaking game. So what is this global ult gonna do when everyone's already on top of each other? It doesn't do shit.
Support is already in middle. Why are you gonna teleport to middle?
Right, exactly. You're just kind of there.
Okay, a Willish 20% win rate looks pretty low, though. I don't know which games those were. Might have just been unlucky. I feel like a Willish. Not your go-to first jungler assassin ever, obviously, because, you want to counter people with her when you can, or just look to snowball. I wouldn't say she's terrible, though. Like, the win rate maybe looks pretty harsh for her. I would probably still put it like A- kind of-ish.
No, I would go with A-.
Okay.
I don't really know what caused her to fall off, but it's like you're saying, she's not a top jungler you're looking at, but something made her even worse in this last split. Like, you don't even pick her in a counter matchup or anything.
Which, if you look at the items, the new items, or like the changes kind of favor her, like shift the shield and stuff, but it didn't really work.
Yeah, it didn't help at all, like not at all. And I honestly, I've played it and I've played it in scrims, and I don't know what it is, but it just doesn't ever work out. I don't know if it's because of the way that those early fights are going now or what. There's just almost like no gank potential with her.
Yeah.
And it doesn't favor you picking her. There's just so many other good junglers that you can play.
I mean, maybe it's partially the part, like you said, if you have the 3v3 fights, you're basically constantly facing the enemy, and that's not what she wants, You want to come in from the side, but who knows?
Yep.
Bacchus. Actually not won a single game. 3 games, but 0% win rate.
I never would have guessed that, actually. Wow. Because I think he's pretty good. I don't know. I think he's pretty good, but obviously if the numbers are saying that, like Athena has a higher win rate than Bacchus, okay.
I would still say at least a solid A. Like, The knockup is nice. The lane control is pretty good now, and the ultimate is still.
I agree with you. You get through that the few levels early. I mean, you could be aggressive to get through it however you want to do it, but his team fight's so good. Like, it's so freaking good. He's safe as long as he's not just flopping randomly. He's got the stun. He's got a crazy ult with high damage. I don't know. I'm definitely down for the A plays.
I mean, his worst counter is a Willish, and she's not that great at the moment, so that works.
Yeah, not played at all. Yeah, you're good. I don't know. That's why I would like to go back and see who played it, because that surprised me.
I unfortunately don't have the games right here. I just have the stats, but it would be interesting. Next one, Bakasura. BOC.
Best god in the game. Best god, that's an SS, right?
SS. I just love the AA. Pon said he's good.
You compared Baka to Arachne, right? And I agree with you. Like, it's a pub stomp god that really has no place in competitive play, sadly.
So C, just down there.
Yep, I agree. I'm down.
Bastet. Interesting one. What she played? She was played twice on 100% win rate, but I don't know how much. No, she actually had a really good KDA as well. 6.5 average kills. Not bad, but I would still say a strongly pocket pick.
Yeah, definitely, absolutely. I think people haven't experimented with her yet, honestly, with all the changes and just the way the game is played.
Yeah,
because I mean, you lost the split push potential like a couple patches ago, but you have all these new items. They're high power items that you can pick up.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm down to put her in A or A minus.
I think I'm leaning towards A. Fine. Like, I think she does what she needs to do basically. I haven't played her much.
A lot of the pro player, well, not a lot. A couple of pro players have like that Bastet pick, like Brizil, where he plays it really, really well.
Yeah.
So I think if you look at it at the way people can play at the highest level, like when they're playing it correctly, definitely an A pick.
Yeah. Oh, now we're going a lot higher, definitely. Bellona, 100% win rate. No, sorry, that's this percent. 58% win rate, but played a lot, picked a lot. Like one of the most contested pick with like a 92% pick ban rate. And I don't think she's overrated. I think she is just really strong at the moment.
No, I completely agree. Right now, where would you place her if you had to put her?
S or S plus even.
Okay, I'm down with S just because there's like three really good soul laners, or like two that are highly contested. You have Osiris and Bellona.
Yeah.
Where people seem to have like the matchup. Some people like the Bellona matchup in Osiris, and some people want the Osiris over the Bellona.
Yeah.
So that's why I put Bellona in S, just because you have two that compare to each other. It's not like Bellona's that much higher than the other one.
And I mean, also we already have a lot of tiers between A plus and S minus and S, though.
Yeah.
That makes it a little easier. Cabrakan, actually 3 times picked, 33% win rate, so 1 win. I wouldn't even know where Cabrakan is currently put, like jungle or solo, or you suddenly want to put him in support. He's like,
I was just thinking that. I'm like, where did they play him? Was it solo lane or was it jungle? Because I mean,
I think one was solo, meta, but I'm not sure if that was a win. Probably most of them is solo, I would assume. That's where we've seen a little. I haven't seen much in jungle.
Yeah, it's so weird how these gods, like, he was played in support at one point, not a lot, but he's played a couple times. Then you had pure jungle play, and now you have a shift in that solo play when it is picked up.
Yeah.
I would put Cabrakan in A minus just because I don't see why you would pick Cabrakan other than there's just so much stuff banned and you want a Guardian in that role.
Yeah. I mean, he still has that very early aggression, but the Tremors was nerfed, right? Is it called Tremors even?
Yeah.
So since then, he's like a bit different, and I feel like especially the jungler role that kind of put him out of that, but we'll see. Maybe somebody finds a new place for him.
He comes into this land as top pick. I mean,
I mean, given how he's changed throughout the years in terms of meta placement, I would not even be completely baffled if you suddenly like contested. Exactly. Somebody finds something. All right, Camazots, 48% win rate, picked a lot, 25 picks. This guy has climbed up quite a fair bit from where he was originally placed.
Oh yeah, man, he went from never played to top pick. Top 5 jungle gods, like that's what it seems, right?
Which is funny because he still doesn't have CC, but I mean,
I think Homefei kind of showed him off a while ago, where you could play this super aggressive god with no control in a meta where everyone wants control. Yeah, and I think ever since then, other junglers started to pick up like this god does a shit ton of damage that is extremely unexpected. Like you see a lot of level 5, especially if you watch Homefei. At level 5, he'll go for these kills where he'll 1-2 leap on you and then and you're dead. He just 100-0 you. and you can't. You're like, oh well, I'm dead. Too bad. I could put Camazotz at S minus.
I'm down with that.
Or S. I could go with either, but
I would say S minus. I feel like he's not quite a Bellona, and other junglers can compete with him a little better, but I can definitely see him up there.
Yep, I'm down with that.
Just because his win rate is kind of slightly below the 50.
Mm-hmm.
All right, my favorite god, Cernunnos. 80% pick win rate, 50% win rate.
Is this really your favorite god?
No, I hate that guy.
Okay. Right,
I just hate this kid, like this, like 2 big circle area abilities and spamming your shit and having a steroid all the time. Ugh.
Yeah, it's annoying. It's like such a simple kit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like, you really couldn't go wrong. Like, you could pick this god and just always be at least okay at the very worst.
Yeah. The thing is, I mean, the worst part I feel about him compared to others is actually, even though this is not relevant for the tier list directly, he performs well across literally all levels of play. On the top level, there's more control, and you get like counter picks like Ram and stuff like that. But it's no place where he's actually shit.
No, exactly. Yeah, it has a higher ceiling, but the low end is not like, it's super simple to play at that low end. I don't know. I would put Cernunnos at S just because everyone plays this god.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Definitely down with that. No discussion needed at all. Chalk picked once 0% win rate. Well.
Feels bad.
What do you say?
I think Chalk is down in C tier. I mean, I don't know what I talked about him in a video or something, and everyone's like, he doesn't even win lane anymore, which was what he could go off of. Was like, I'm gonna dumpster the lane for 6 levels, and then I'm gonna be starting to fall off unless I really push that snowball. And he can't even do that as much anymore.
Right.
You have these other solo laners who just absolutely destroy at all points in the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's nothing that works in his favor really. So C, there we go. Chang'e, wherever you want to play her, she has been played once, didn't win that game. It's another one of those cards where like she could be anywhere depending on who plays her and what they pull off with her, but currently I don't see much from her.
No, yeah, she got nerfed. I don't remember how. The nerf wasn't huge, but I mean, obviously it was. It took her from being played in the jungle all the time to not being played at all anywhere.
I feel
the
that
change was enough
down
to do
to the regrowth nerf as well, which was 20% CDR right before, and that was what was always the go-to item, right? And now 10% CDR.
Yeah, they hit one of her abilities had a longer cooldown. I think it was a heal. And then like you said, regrowth got nerfed, so it's even less CDR. So she just got hit a couple of times like really, really fast.
Yeah.
And now she doesn't get played at all. Plus we talked about anti-healing being super easy to get.
Yeah, true.
I would put her down in B because I couldn't put her where Afro is just because she has this huge ult. Chang'e has this gigantic game-changing ult and definitely can be played in competitive, not a really high pick though.
Yeah, I see that. Chiron. Has been actually played 3 times and got 1 win. I feel like the thing with Chiron is in ADC he just suffers. Where he seems to have a little more success is in middle. But how much, really? Definitely a pocket pick, if at all.
I'm right there with you, a pocket pick. So I don't see what would make him really strong anywhere right now, you know? What would make him want to be played over something else?
A minus, B?
What do you think?
I mean, I feel like the only thing that he still has going for him is the mobility and the ultimate, you know, the long-range snipes, just like, which brings him a little more control in teamfight. But given that we put Chang'e in B, probably B.
I'm right there with you. I'm down for B. I think you have your players who feel like they can do a whole bunch with a god, especially with the Dispel, right? Like you have that Dispel, which at low levels of play nobody uses, nobody understands at all.
Yeah.
High levels of play, it could be that difference maker on certain teams, just very rare.
Yeah. Okay, the next one is Chronos. 71% win rate actually out of 7 games. Often underrated, I would say. I know that especially Zeros likes to play him a lot. I would say, I mean, even though the win rate is pretty high, I would say like around A-ish.
I am tempted to put him in A+ because we know the snowball meta is there, right? But in Europe, they found this way to extend the game no matter what. Like they pick these super late game comps and they just farm for 30 minutes, and it's we've watched it, and it's insane to watch how no matter what, whether they're getting invaded, they find farm somewhere else.
Yeah.
And if Kronos gets a late game, like good luck. Like, he hits so hard. There's nothing you can do.
Secret is Book of the Dead. They just don't die. That's why.
Right? Yeah, exactly. They get that early, and then they farm. That's all they want to do. They farm. And in Europe, they go for the sustain. Right? They have the Bumbas on the mid laners, and they just want to be out farming as much as possible. That I think in the right hand, I want to put Kronos in A+, just because when you see it played by Zeros, you see it played by, I think Imelito even plays it in the ADC. Just the way they play it when it's perfect is amazing. So that's what I think of it as.
I'm down. I mean, the DreamHack is in Europe, so that works.
Yep, exactly. No jet lag, nothing. They're ready to go.
Okay, next one is Cuchulainn. Obviously not played yet. Do we have a new category here? I don't want to rate him yet, honestly, because I don't think he can be played, right?
No, yeah, I don't even know what he's going to be like in a scrim, let alone in an actual LAN or competitive setting. So it's kind of hard to say.
Putting in a D, aka not available, because there's no new category. Cupid. Pocket pick, but actually picked a few times. Apparently 40% win rate.
I kind of compare him to Anhur a little bit. I mean, he was played a little bit more earlier when like Serqet was a high pick. Because I mean, it's a team fight god, right? You just run in, you drop your ult, and it's either the other person's beadsing or they're just gonna have an annoying team fight. So it worked. Laning phase a little bit weaker usually.
I was gonna say like Anhur still has a bit more bully potential, I would say, throughout the game.
That is true. But if you like I try to see if there's something you can compare or take away from the other gods. So Cupid has the hearts, which I think are super underrated when you get in a team fight.
Yeah.
Because right now, like Sylvanas isn't played as much, right? All those gods that Ra is played, but if you can go into a team fight and back off and heal afterwards, where that anti-heal is gone, kind of like a mini reset, it's huge and it's super underrated.
True.
Whereas, like you said, Anhur can box. So Anhur has his side of the thing, which is the aggression, where Cupid has like we team fought, and let's back up and just heal and reset and go do an objective or whatever else.
I can see that. And his heal was not hit by any nerfs compared to most others, right? So that definitely helps us all. All right, A?
I'm down. Perfect.
All right. .G. Will she be open for DreamHack?
Yes, she is available from what I understand. We were told that like weeks ago. I hope so, dude. I hope so. Because, I mean, you see it in ranked, and she does really well, but it's ranked.
Yeah.
It's not a scrim. It's not a real competitive game where money's on the line.
And
I compare her to Camazotz.
I feel like that's especially important for .G because the way she works is she's like Arachne on steroids, basically. She has the very high single target damage, but then she also has better mobility, I would say, even though like her escape is kind of, one is the 2, which is kind of not that great, and the 3 is team dependent, then you have the ult as your escape. But you still, like, especially if you can hit those old snipes, which should be possible at LAN, there's something to work with here.
Yeah, I compare her to Camazotz just because. So we talked about how Europe is kind of playing this drawn out game where they only team fight when they're ready. Like, everyone decides they want to team fight, that's when they do it. So if you're playing a god that, like you said, has a little bit more escape than Arachne, that where they're only fighting when that ultimate's up, so she can go in, full combo somebody, go up in the air, and kind of just be annoying.
Yeah,
like I feel like that's gonna be amazing in a 5v5 team fight. Okay. Now I could be completely wrong. She could suck and just blow at LAN, but I really want to see it played. I hope Europe plays it. I hope somebody in Europe has been practicing it because they have the style that I think would work perfect for her.
I feel like
I don't know.
Great.
Yeah, I couldn't put her in S- just because we haven't seen her. I feel like A or A+. Her damage is high, right? Like it's a lot of damage when used in combos
like
properly.
You can get blown up like so easily as a squishy in the backline. It really needed a lot of team coordination to work against that. I would carefully put her in A for now, just so we don't get ripped apart if she doesn't perform.
No, I agree with you. I'm down.
And then we have Erlang Shen. Actually picked a lot more than I realized. 18 picks, 61% win rate. Probably a few support picks in there, I would assume. Because I didn't see it. But
I know it was played in solo. Demi likes it in solo. I think Skilladon played it in jungle at one point. I don't know how many times that was. And then I'm guessing it had to have been played in support too.
I mean, that alone says a lot about the god, right? If he has a positive win rate and he's very flexible in where you can pick him. I feel like he was long, like not that liked in the beginning of the season, but seems to be coming back. Somewhat?
Yeah, that's I don't know what it is, but yeah, I think people are just going around. I think the idea of playing these different gods that aren't played all the time so people aren't comfortable against it is really big.
Yeah.
So someone like Erlang, I could throw into A because all these gods in A have their situations where they're good, right? Like,
Yeah.
they're good gods, their kits are strong, but you're not just gonna pick them willy-nilly.
Yeah.
So I could put Erlang in A and be like, yeah, it's comparable to an Anhur or an Agni or whatever else. Just
Yeah, I'm down.
we said it could be played in 3 roles. Like, that's insane.
Next one is a lot more interesting in what he does. I would say probably one of the strongest subs at the moment, and that's Fafnir. 33 picks, 92% pick ban rate, and 54% win rate. Not that great, but still highly contested pick overall.
Yeah, it's played and picked in every game using 92%.
Yeah.
That says a lot. If that's
Yeah.
got to be NA and EU, just like, yeah, this god is really freaking good.
S?
Yes, S for sure. I mean, you're looking at most roles have like 3 or 4 gods that are top.
Yeah.
And support has like those gods that you want first pick. Like, you're banning 2 supports, then picking that third one right out of the gate. And Fafnir is one of those.
Yeah. Then we got Fenrir. Fenrir was apparently picked, but the stats here don't really pop up. So, no, banned. He was just banned. Fenrir's just banned and not picked. So, probably target banned. I haven't seen a Fenrir in a long time.
No, I don't even know what his. I mean, it's kind of one of those situations where Fenrir's good at ganking, good in like 2v2 team fights, but with everything being 3v3, 4v4, 5v5, doesn't really excel anywhere.
Yeah.
At all to me. I don't know. I don't like Fenrir. Like, I'm a jungler and I don't even know how it'd be played other than every jungler's banned or something really crazy comes up.
I feel like the good part about him at the moment is that he just benefits from building a little more tanky, and if you want to throw in that Shifters or like even Masamune or something, like, you can, which helps him a little bit, but still, he's not. I mean, maybe if you combo him with an Isis or something in mid lane, that, or like Poseidon or whatever, and just try to force the beats as much as possible.
Yeah, you're looking for a snowball. You're looking for like a kill on alt cooldown as much as possible.
But how often is that gonna work in the current meta anyway? So
at high level play, nah, it's not gonna be consistent.
I would say like either A- or maybe B. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, I'm looking between the two. I mean, he's only played once, so we don't know like if he's super, like if he's really that bad, you know?
Yeah.
Whereas Awilix was played however many times and lost most of the games. We put her in A-. I'd say you can put Fafnir, like you said, you built him tanky. I put him in A-, then I'd be okay with it. Like a tanky Fenrir where you're focusing your damage coming out of a different role, like say Solo's going to do more damage that game, it definitely could work.
Yeah. The next one is actually surprising to me in regards to win rate, and that's Freya. She has 6 picks, 50% win rate. I did not know this.
Wow. Yeah. Well, she's obviously playing ADC, right? Like
probably. But
I feel like I don't know anything about Freya. Like, you told me this number is really shocking to me.
I just don't see her, like, even if I wanted to go for a magical ADC, I would probably still go Kronos or Sol over her. So
absolutely.
I don't know. But then again, I know that Zeros wants to play her at least. So maybe there's something going on there.
It's so hard because when I look at these gods we put in A- and B, I could put her where like an Artemis is, I guess, because where Freya just needs the farm, right? She needs to get the super late game and be able to run at people, kind of like Artemis. So I could put her there, and people are playing her, and it's working, and I'm guessing they're just going for that late game farm, that EU meta. Farm it up, win the game in one team fight.
I mean, she probably runs Book of the Dead as well at this point, I assume. Just the same stuff you run with Kronos, you just try not to die. Yeah,
that's
I
exactly
I can see that. I can't see her like being as strong as Kronos at all, but I can see, you know, in certain situations.
Yep.
Ganesha.
Definitely.
Ganesh. Actually, highly contested pick, 21 times picked, but only 28% win rate. Though I know that a lot of this is because he was picked like against much stronger teams and then didn't show up like he was planned to. And I know that he can do well.
Yeah, I mean, it's a strong god. I think some people just aren't playing him as well. I wouldn't put him quite on Fafnir's level, but like one step below. I mean, his kit. If you just read his kit, it's really, really, it's good. He's got lane clear, which is awesome right now in this meta. Definitely an S- for me.
I feel like he's like different from maybe like Fafnir. He's a little more situational where you want to see that the enemy team comp doesn't have like too many leaps to get off the ult, for example, and stuff like that. But
Mm-hmm.
still very, very good.
Yep.
And talking about good gods, Geb picked
Yes.
28 times, 53% win rate, but definitely up there.
I think I don't know. I feel like people always want to argue this, but I would put Geb in S minus. His
Yeah.
kit is amazing, and people are going back to the blink Geb, the like season 1, season 2 aggressive Geb, where you just blink insta kill somebody and you've won that 3v3 fight.
I
You go
can
look for an
absolutely see
objective.
that 100%. I mean, you know, with the relics being changed, it's just a lot more viable to just go into blink because you know you can pick Shell or you can pick Met, but you're not really gonna do that. So
Yeah.
might as well pick blink, and for that Geb's just
You
great.
don't
And
miss
it's just,
out on anything.
it's a good support. I mean, even the fact that his lane is not like his lane dominance, like he doesn't push the lane out or anything that much. It doesn't really matter when you go into middle so early and you know hang out with your team.
Yep.
And then we got Guan Yu, banned once. That's it.
That's
Poor guy.
Yeah, Guan is down there for me, like B tier, where
Yeah.
you could play him. He could be played in a couple different roles. Not gonna be anywhere, like not even in top 10 for most roles. To be honest,
I honestly feel like the
he's
heal
not bad.
nerf just hit him too hard, and then
Yep,
didn't come back
it
from
really did. And yeah, he's not. You're not looking at him for damage at all. You're looking at him for that sustained healing and the annoying ult that just runs at people.
yeah.
I'd put him in B just
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I couldn't put him in C. He's not chalk level, but he's almost there.
And then we got Hades. Hades is you know got buffed a fair bit and has been seen more. He actually has a 66% win rate. Was only picked 3 times though. Interesting character. I feel like, you know, high risk, high reward kind of thing.
Mhm.
Question is, like, I feel like he's very punishable, especially if you build a comp against him, like have a nemesis in there and steals protections or something. It hurts.
Definitely, he's one of those gods you want to be counter picking. You don't want to pick it early and get screwed over. You want like for some reason their top 3 picks are something that Hades just destroys. You pick it third, and then you ban out those other gods that are going to be really really annoying against Hades. The Nem, like you said, you
Yeah.
get rid of Nem, and there aren't many junglers that are really just going to screw Hades over.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at A, where like an Agni almost.
Yeah, I can see that, definitely. Then we got Habwa Hibo. Banned once, picked once, one loss.
Not a shocker there.
Feels bad, but he got buffed, and that buff is going through before DreamHack, which is his one not having that post animation, which I think is pretty nice actually.
Ooh, that is before DreamHack?
I'm pretty sure it's going through. Yeah, if the
I think
anime
you're
buff is
right,
going through,
yeah.
then it's going through as well.
I think you're right. That I could see that small change making a big difference.
Yeah,
Honestly, Hebo has 2. You've got that almost has 3 ult, and you've got a carpet.
yeah,
Very unsafe, high risk, high reward. I wouldn't quite put a Hebo in A just because it's super risky.
yeah. It's
But
definitely
I,
situational.
you know, people have practiced it. They had as soon as that. Anytime a god gets changed in the competitive scene, people
Yeah.
just start. They want to see if it works. They want to see what that change did to the god.
And I
I'm
mean,
putting
he
Hebo
was
in
like,
minus.
I know that he was like being tested out like in jungle and stuff as well, which I
Mhm.
always liked about jungle, and I would love to see that again. So just for that, I'm already giving him an A-. I want to see it.
Yep. So I would love to. Some of these gods just it has potential and it'll be so fun to watch.
Yeah. The next one, I'm not so sure how much potential she has, and that's Hell. Hell has not been picked.
Yeah, I'm looking at C already. Like,
Yeah.
what does she bring? Like, I don't even know what you could argue. Short range abilities, healing
Yeah.
that's gonna get countered.
Yeah.
The dispel is probably the best thing in the kit, in my opinion.
I think like, before the Bracer meta, before that was a thing, maybe there would have been something for her there, but now with everyone having anti-heal everywhere, what's she gonna do? And this, I think, is a good time to switch over. So if you're watching on my channel, you should have a link pop up right there to Weekend's channel, where the video will continue and we'll do the second part.